Cancer, and welcome to your September 2018 general tarot reading. So, what's going on for you, Cancer, this month? You've got two additional guidance cards which tell the same story, okay? You've got the Lover's card and you've got the Fork in the Road. The Lover's card, traditional meaning, is the Choices card. So there might be some decisions that have to be made this month for you, Cancer. It might be regarding a relationship issue. Some of you, you might have hit that spot regarding your relationships or your life journey where some key decision has to be made. I will come back to these as we go along. But you've got quite a powerful spread here. There's quite a lot of Swords cards, so there's a little bit of a feeling of a little bit of tension and a little bit of stress. And what you most want is to move into much more gentle waters. The cards that lie behind you as you enter September, two Wands cards. You've got the Six of Wands and the Queen of Wands. So both very, very fiery, energetic energies. The Queen of Wands can represent a fire person, male or female. Or this is this you, Cancer. You feel very, very vital, very, very alive, very sort of on top of things. The Queen of Wands is very on top of things. She's very, very confident, very in love with life, very dynamic, tends to be a very, very attractive energy. And the Six of Wands, it looks like there's been some sort of success here, Cancer, or someone around you is having that success, okay? So it could go anyway. This might be who the Lover's card is representing. I'm really, really not sure. But what you most want is the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is about going from stormy waters in the Five of Swords into much more gentler times, okay? And what's helping you get that Six of Swords is the Five of Swords, okay? So there might be a little bit of I'll do a clarification on those cards. There might be a little bit of turbulence. The Five of Swords tends to represent a state of mind of, it can be quite an argumentative state of mind. And it's pushing you forward. It's pushing you to find more gentler waters. It's probably trying to push you to find a solution to the state of mind, okay? I will clarify it. Because your challenge is the Nine of Cups, okay? So the Nine of Cups as a challenge is, maybe some of you feel that your true heart's desires are a little bit hard to come by. Life is a little bit more challenging and a little bit more conflicting, and what you most want is these gentle waters and your heart's desires to be met. I've clarified it with the Sun card, which is really interesting because the Sun card is about illumination and it's about joy, and it's definitely about happiness. So it's almost some Cancers are leaving behind a little bit of troubled waters here, to tell you the truth, and a little bit of a feeling of maybe you've been too busy. There's been reasons why the Nine of Cups has been a challenge for you. The Sun card is basically saying that you're leaving behind that turbulence of the Five and you're moving towards the lovely Six of Swords. You've got quite a lot of Leo energy around you. The Strength card and the Sun card both represents Leo. It represents the heart, warmth and vitality. Now, In your relationship house, you've got Temperance. So Temperance is about balance. It also talks about patience. And Temperance represents a perfect blending of energy. One of my, and quite a lot of tarot readers' favourite relationship card, because when we come together with other people, some people create chaos in our lives, and some good relationships create perfect harmony. Temperance represents a perfect blending of energies in your relationships. As you can see though, she is holding this goblet and she's not spilling any water. So it does speak about working to achieve emotional balance and being very, very patient. That's also what Temperance sort of means yet, because it comes with the Seven of Discs. And the Seven of Discs is another card about waiting for your harvest, okay? It's a very contemplative card. The Temperance can also be about contemplating, not rushing in and making any big rash decisions. Allowing the earth element to take over and to allow things to grow in a much more natural, much more temperate way. In your money and work, you've got the Strength card. The Strength card is about following your destiny. It's really, really clear. In the image, she's got her eye on her North Star and she's moving towards a much more dynamic, much more self-assertive way. And I did notice the Strength card is right under the Sun in the Five of Swords. Some of you might have had a little bit of conflict at work. The Ace of Pentacles is appearing with the Strength card. So some of you might be going forward to a new job or a brand new chapter. And maybe that's what that Five of Swords is mean. There's been a little bit of conflict in the workplace, or you're frustrated about how you make a living. But that five is what's pushing you forward. That's how we can never judge a card as good or bad, because very often it's our challenges. We need to go through the fives to get to the sixes. So in order to propel our lives forward, we need a little bit of tension. Not too much, but just enough where we continually question what we want from our lives and make sure that we're walking on a path that our soul wants us to be in, that's passionate, that has meaning for you, Cancer, okay? Now, at a soul level, you get the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a card of its celebration. Really, really nice card to have, place to have that Four of Wands, because the soul card is the central point of your reading and everything's coming from that. And you've got a sense of happiness, joy, crossing a threshold. So some of you might be celebrating something. Be celebrating maybe a new job by the looks of it. Or maybe for some of you, your relationships seem quite balanced to me. But for some of you who are looking for one, there might be a process unfolding in your relationships. But it definitely feels quite balanced and quite happy. Really, really good card to show up there, Cancer. The overall message is about celebration. You have got the five, but the five is what's propelling you forward. Your outcome is the Three of Cups with the Six of Cups, okay? So the Three of Cups, again, is about joy and celebration. These people fly because they've dropped what's been holding them down. And what always holds us down is, sometimes it's being overly involved in people's dramas, situations at work or at home that drag our energy down. The Three of Cups is about releasing things like that It's about celebrating, joy, and having fun. And it's clarified with the Six of Cups, which is pretty much quite a similar card. Well, the Six of Cups is more about one-to-one sharing. This could be reconciling with someone and just celebrating very joyful times. And what stood out is you have got two sixes, okay? Which sixes are also always about restoring something that's not been a bit out of balance. And that five, as a protector energy, is saying there's a little bit of, maybe a bit of difficulty, Cancer, but it's the engine that's propelling you forward to make some choices, to birth a new path, and to live much more aligned with that Strength card. Because the Strength card is about having a very, very straight back and having an eye on the destiny that you want to create. Not going through life in a unconscious way, but moving in a very self-directed and very, very passionate way. There might be some fork in the road. It's definitely going to be around a relationship because the Knight of Cups appeared with the Lover's card. There might be some offer. There might be some choices that have to be made. The choices will be between your authentic self and that part of us that lives our life just to fit in. We all have that. But that's what the Lover's card is. Do I go A, down the old path, or do I go and follow my true heart? The guy follows his true heart and he immediately becomes enlightened. He moves into joy and he's liberated. So there might be a little bit of some choices that have to be made about the way forward, Cancer. Any stresses, those stresses are what's pushing you forward. So try your hardest to not judge them, but to allow them. And hopefully they're not too extreme. Okay, Cancer, loads of love, and I'll speak to you next week. Bye.